Good morning. This is QUAN with I Have No Cut Cards Tarot. I just received notification that a movie review that I did for The Girl with All the Gifts, the movie came out in 2016, was declined. I didn't say anything wrong. I didn't mention anything happening anywhere. All I did was a movie review, and the video was banned from YouTube because I simply said, watch this movie called The Girl with All the Gifts that came out in 2016. It was about a little Ethiopian girl and other children that had gifts. They had spiritual gifts, and there was a scientist that wanted to suppress their DNA from changing. So what the scientist did was she came up with a vaccination, and she was testing it on all the children because it was something in the atmosphere that was changing the DNA of all the people on the planet. And the vaccination was supposed to be applied to all the people to prevent that change. Now, please, someone tell me where I violated any policy by talking about the movie. If anyone took that any other type of way, only a hit dog hollers. So the question is, who did it hit? I didn't mention anyone's name or anything. I just talked about a movie that came out. So I find that quite interesting because, like I said, I haven't violated any policy, and I'm going to legally look into that a little bit to find out if I could legally be banned for doing a movie review. Okay? All right. Please funnel through me clearly and directly for the intended collective the energy and information needed, and protect it from outside influences of low vibrational entities that seek to confuse and distort the divine messages. Please allow the intended listeners to extract what is needed to put them on their highest path for their highest good, and use my tongue to channel the right words to deliver as plainly and simple as to be understood with clarity, and provide insight and light to their guided pathways in this lifetime. Now, I started out this morning because I wanted to do my regular card reading, but then, my spirit guides instead channeled a message for me, and they stopped me dead in my tracks. So I'm going to touch on that a little bit. Hopefully it won't be banned, because the last time I checked, freedom, of speech in America was still part of the Constitution. So I have two references, and I'm going to put them in the description link, okay, of this YouTube video, okay? Now, the title of this video, or the subject of it, is nanochip technology to imitate and copy and replace spiritual abilities, to limit and block access to higher consciousness and higher power. I'm going to say that one more time. Nanochip technology to imitate, copy, and replace spiritual abilities, to limit and block access to higher power and consciousness. The two reference points that I'm going to use are going to be entered into the description link below. Okay, one is for the series Black Mirror, Season 1, Episode 3, The Entire History of You. which is about a time in the future when a memory implant that records everything you say, do, and hear is basically placed into the population, to everyone in the population, okay? And what that chip can do. And then the other, just for your reference, is a YouTube video. The name of it is 4 Ways Nanotechnology Will Change Our Lives by the Medical Futurist, okay? And you can look up any video on YouTube, or you can Google nanotechnology to get an idea of, if you haven't been introduced to it already, you know, what it is with regard to it being supposed to attach to the proteins in your body and DNA to repair and to prevent hereditary diseases or heal hereditary diseases in the body, okay? And how they insert it into your body. Okay. Now, if you're still naive enough to believe that when these new technologies are introduced through movies as being futuristic and nanotechnology has not been used on human subjects being experimented on anywhere between 50 to 70 years, still in 2021, then you probably are too unaware. And this video most likely won't resonate with you. But understand, whenever a new technology is introduced to the general public, they have been using, studying, and upgrading that technology for well over 50 years or more, okay? There's a technology being used to replace and imitate organic human spirituality and abilities, which are our birthright. A lot of us that have the original DNA to allow this upgrade that will enhance our abilities past the basic 5 senses are being targeted and monitored. Now, mind you, any race can have traces of the original DNA because technically there is only one race with different amounts and concentrations of the original DNA, giving the illusion of separate races. The further off from the original DNA, which is found in Africans, and the more recessive your genes are, can result in you having less of a chance for a DNA upgrade, if any at all. That's not to offend anyone. I'm just, stating scientific facts here, okay? It's just it's just information. Now, there are those in the ruling class that foresee this as a means to their end or demise, which means the loss of power and control, and ultimately annihilation, which is why they have to stay on top of technology. Now, these abilities of telepathy, clairvoyance, telekinesis, and so on and so forth are nothing new. It doesn't make you special. At one time, everyone had access to them and used them openly, like the other 5 senses. But the human race fell into a lower vibration, causing us to be cut off from them. We are now in the process of raising and speeding up the vibration collectively as a human race. And as a result of it, our abilities are coming back online as they used to be before the fall, into this slow-moving 3D vibration. Love is the highest vibration. And the more we vibrate on that higher vibration of love with our thoughts and actions collectively, the more codes in our DNA are activated. Now, this copycat technology being cloaked and masked simply as nanotechnology to heal disease and improve human health is being utilized by the ruling class that may not possess enough of the original DNA for the upgrades. So to level the playing field and remain in control, information is being put out. Tactics are being used to throw us off and prevent accessing higher power. I was reading an article online recommending to the general public not to meditate longer than 15 to 20 minutes. Now, if you're just starting out with meditation, most likely you won't be able to do that anyway, because it's not as easy as it looks. It takes a lot of focus and discipline, especially want to sit in one spot, and then once your brain starts, jumping all over the place, you can become bored real fast and restless. So it's something you have to build up your time with over time, unless you have that discipline. Now, you may have to meditate anywhere between 3 to 5 hours to go through the veil, as they talk about in the Bible. In the Bible, when they talk about the Holy of Holies, that only the priests were allowed to enter, what they were talking about was through meditation, the monks and the high priest that knew the metaphysics and the science of how to meditate to go into the higher realms. And the veil, the Holy of Holies that you enter, was a higher state of consciousness that they were talking about, that opened you up to other abilities, and opened you up to astral travel, and opened you up to other realms and dimensions. Okay, so that's why they refer to it as the veil. That's why in the Bible it's referenced as the Holy of Holies. Okay, the curtain behind the veil. Or like Morpheus said in The Matrix, I can get you to the door, but only you can walk through it. They are trying to prevent you from connecting with your higher self through meditation, where upon contact through deep meditation, your Kundalini energy connects with the prana energy in the atmosphere outside the body, causing a violet flame to ignite and activate your abilities. That's why the advice was don't meditate longer than 15 to 20 minutes. You have to meditate for at least 3 to 5 hours to come close to that veil, all right? Okay, so when that violet flame ignites and activates your abilities, you will see flashes of people coming right before they walk through your door. You'll cut your finger with a knife and it will instantly heal. No scar. And I mean instantly. Suddenly, you literally can't eat anything but raw fruits and vegetables, if you can eat at all. And your energy, you will mount up and fly like eagles, like the Bible says. You will run and not fall. What does it say? You will run and not be weary. Teach me, Lord, to wait. Those that wait upon the Lord, he shall renew their strength. They will mount up in the air as eagles. They will run. They will walk and not be weary. They will run and not faint. Teach me, Lord, to wait. Teach me to wait in meditation. Teach me to have the patience to sit in one still space and spot and focus my mind. Teach me, Lord, I have to wait. It takes time. It takes time to meditate. It takes a long time. It takes discipline before you can mount up like an eagle and fly through those other dimensions, okay? Your pineal gland won't stop spinning in the center of your head. It'll feel like it's about to jump out your head. It'll be pulsating so hard. And this is just to name a few of the things that will happen. But the one thing that they do fear is you turning into a weapon. God, G-O-D. God, G, generator. O, operator. D, destroyer. You are 70% water, the highest conductor of electricity. When you activate your crown chakra and access the higher realms for power and learn how to channel and pull that energy from the earth and everything around you and direct it like ready aim fire at your target, you have now become a lethal weapon. Case in point, Goku in Dragon Ball Z, the little cartoon. It's funny how much reality and truth that you find, in a lot of TV shows and cartoons, tidbits of truth are put in there, and it's hidden in plain sight. It's things that are put right in front of your face that you don't notice because it's hidden in plain sight. That's why they put it in your face, so you won't notice it. It's a psychological technique. That's who we were as a human race at a higher vibration before the fall, okay? You know, a lot of us, before falling into a lower vibration on this 3D plane, we were existing on a higher vibration, which it was nothing to fly. It was nothing to direct energy. I mean, people still would fight that way. Energy would come out their pineal gland, you know, because they knew how to pull the energy from around them in the atmosphere and project it straight through their head at each other. You were an energy weapon, okay? Now, back to how nanotechnology is being used to block you from accessing the higher realms and replace your spiritual birthright. For some of you that have been implanted against your will, they implanted the nano chip in your left temple using a device similar to what an earring gun looks and functions like. They held it up to your left temple and shot it into your head while you were in the REM stage of sleep, which allowed them to access your esoteric body. Some of you may have felt this, but some of you may have not, because remember, this was done. Remember, you're not just this physical body. You know, you have other energy bodies outside of you. Before anything manifests on this plane in the physical realm, you know, it has to manifest in the mental plane first. Everything, okay? So it's in your esoteric body, you know, that they injected this into your left temple, okay? And then some of you were watched and monitored. When you're ready, after watching and monitoring you and studying the effects that nano chip that they put inside of you had on you, and once they were ready to get rid of the evidence, that same nano chip that can find and heal disease in your body by attaching to your DNA can now, upon command, activate a brain aneurysm or a blood clot, Johnny Cochran, or a heart attack. This same nanotechnology that is masked and cloaked to heal hereditary diseases can now be used to assassinate your targets. It's the perfect silent weapon for a soft kill. Reference the book Behold a Pale White Horse. Obviously, the nano chip inside your body is linked to a CPU mainframe outside the body. Why do you think now, when you think of something, it pops up automatically on your cell phone? Not once or twice by coincidence, but all the time. Because they have been implanting the population via the astro and esoteric energy bodies when a lot of you are in the REM states of sleep. Because we are still a few years off from normalizing making this mandatory when born in a hospital, and to retain a social security number to have access to the benefits of this world order, new world order. This has been utilized to take some of us out. Ashe. Pour libation out for our ancestors that have been taken out. How the chip blocks your crown chakra and will create a copycat consciousness and copycat abilities, okay? This is how the nano chips block your crown chakra and will create a copycat consciousness and copycat abilities. The same way in that season 1 episode of Black Mirror, The Entire History of You, where having the chip was normalized and everyone had the same equal ability to access information, they want to provide a copycat upgrade. So it will appear that everyone was equally upgraded. And those of us that can access higher power and higher consciousness won't be aware of it and won't push back on the energetic blockages being placed in us using nanotechnology, because everyone will have the same ability to communicate using telepathy. See people coming using clairvoyance equally. The goal is to ultimately replace doing this through raising Kundalini energy spiritually, with doing this with technology instead, connecting everyone to the same outside CPU operating system with the nano chips inside everyone's body, sending and receiving impulses and messages. Now, you're part organic, human, and part machine, but cut off from the higher power, which is your birthright. I'm going to say that again. Now you're part organic, human, and part machine, but you're cut off from the higher consciousness and higher power, which is your birthright, all to control you and remain the ruling class. You won't seek to go any higher or to access more power because you're going to think that you have already achieved this. So, because you'll still be able to access a few abilities of clairvoyance and telepathy, you're going to think I have arrived. There's nothing beyond this, you know? And as we get lost further along in the generations, people are not going to know that there is more beyond the veil once they achieve a level of telepathy and clairvoyance. When you're in a deep meditation, right at the point where through your pineal gland it's getting ready to ignite with that blue violet flame, which is the pathway to the higher power, the nanos in your body are sending impulses of warning signals to the main CPU computer outside. And in return, it sends a message and impulses back to those nano chips, okay, that someone is getting ready to go beyond the veil. Someone is about to poke a hole and go through, okay? So you can reference the symbolism from the Hunger Games when the main character, the girl, she aimed her arrow toward the end of the movie at the ceiling in the dome that they were in, and she cracked a hole in, going beyond the veil, okay? So an alert goes off when they detect that your Kundalini energy is getting ready to ignite through your pineal gland. So an alert goes off and sends impulses to the main CPU, and then in return, it sends messages to those nano chips to disrupt your breathing, which, as you know, in meditation is key to raising Kundalini energy. It also sends impulses to the left central nervous system in your bloodstream around your left eye and temple, where it was inserted, and right up through your pineal gland, and blocks the Kundalini energy from raising and flowing freely, ultimately blocking the igniting of your pineal gland. Now, don't get me wrong, you will still be clairvoyant, you will still have telepathy. They just don't want you to go any further. To access that real power that can make you like Goku in Dragon Ball Z. So it will shut you down. Every single time you're in a meditation, it'll either block your breathing and throw your breathing off, or it will send an impulse that it puts a blockage in that Kundalini energy right there, literally right at that point of igniting. And if you're sensitive enough, you'll feel it in your body when you're meditating. You feel that blockage, that impulse moving throughout your body and move right up to your pineal gland right before it ignites. Every single time, every breath that you take, you'll be able to feel that blockage every time it goes up. But I got good news for y'all, all right? And those of y'all this resonates with, I have good news for you. You can overcome it. And I'm gonna tell you how. Don't be discouraged if this is happening to you. You can fast and meditate and build up your spiritual power enough through direct focus and discipline to disintegrate and destroy that artificial intelligence protein that has attached to your DNA. It will dissolve and burn up upon the igniting of your Kundalini energy. That fire Kundalini energy, that blue-violet flame will eat straight through it, okay? Through heavy meditation and heavy focus. You can still go beyond that veil. You are not blocked. You have to fast and you have to meditate. It takes discipline, okay? You want to avoid anything that has a blue light. That's why they have the police cars now they make with those blue blinding lights. Anything made from like that artificial light. What is that? You know, that artificial light that they say too much exposure can cause cancer. Most of the lights everywhere nowadays are made with that type of lighting. So you got to be really careful about your eyes and what type of light it's exposed to, okay? Let me tell you something. The revolution will not be televised. War has been declared on us, but we don't know it because we're looking for a standing army. They are attacking you from inside of your body. They are attacking you from the inside out. It is no time for fun and games. I'm not telling you that you can't live your life. I'm not telling you you can't have a sex life, but we are in a time right now where we need to conserve our spiritual energy, which is life force energy used for reproduction. It's used for stress relief, you know, through sex, because it releases endorphins inside your body. It's good for you. It's therapeutic. But there are other ways that you can utilize that life force energy as well. And in times of war, you got to stay loaded. So you have to use your spiritual energy as a weapon of protection. So you want to conserve it. Or if you use it sparingly. Meditate, build up your spiritual power. Don't wait until it's too late. It's just like it said in the Bible, you know. People will seek death in the last days, and I'm paraphrasing, but it said, in the last days, people will seek death, and death will not come. You know, there's a lot of new technologies that are out here now, going forward, that are meant to block you, that are meant to change humanity forever, to make us like machines practically. So it is so important that you really stay on top of yourself, because if we get too far gone, you're not going to be able to come back. So like I said, you know, I did put the two references in the description link. One is from the TV series Black Mirror, Season 1, Episode 3, The Entire History of You, that talked about the implants that they put inside you that records everything that you say, do, and hear. And then the other is a YouTube video, 4 Ways Nanotechnology Will Change Our Lives, by the medical futurist. But you can just type in nanotechnology and you will get a plethora of information on it. It's out there, but they're only telling you the positive aspect of it. They're not telling you, you know, the little dirty side, you know, to it. So as always, hopefully this doesn't get banned, but as always, I want you all to be mutually blessed. Take care of yourselves. And have a blessed day.